Here we are in the homework for 3.4. And as we go through here, their main goal is to make sure that we understand the converse, the inverse, and the contrapositive. And so they're going to make us do each one, and we'll just select the right statement. So this one, they're asking for the converse. Remember, anytime they ask for the con, the Q is first. So we're looking for the making of the bed being first, and the converse is just flipping the two. It's the contrapositive that negates them both. And so we want she does not make the bed first and make the bed second. So if she does not make the bed, then I make the bed. Well, that seems to be the complete flip of what's there. So let's check that. It says we did a good job. The inverse of this statement would be where we take the negation of the first and the negation of the second. So I'm looking for, if I don't make the bed, then she does make the bed. So if I do not make the bed, then she makes the bed is the inverse. And then the contrapositive would be her not making the bed or making the bed, and I not making the bed. So if she makes the bed, that's the one I want, then I do not make the bed. That's the negation of them both. So they're throwing in that word not in the beginning, I think, to just make sure we're paying attention. And you can see that we're doing really the same thing through these first questions. Write the statement in if P then Q form. A decagon implies that it is a polygon with 10 sides. So a decagon implies, so if it's a decagon, if a decagon is a polygon, then it has 10 sides. If a figure is a decagon, then it is a polygon with 10 sides. I think it's C, and we can check that. Yep. So again, if it's a decagon, then it's a polygon with sides there. And so they'll go through just different ways of saying things. So now we need to put this in if-then form. We'll try another one, and it's okay to make mistakes. So no grass is necessary for no rain. So we need no grass is necessary for no rain. So which one would that be? If there's no rain, then there's no grass, right? If there's no grass, then there's no rain. No grass is necessary for no rain, okay? But if there is no rain, then there is no grass. That seems to be what's being implied there, right? No grass is necessary for no rain. So if there's no rain, then there's no grass, right? And that may be a little bit confusing. Now, if and only if, remember, they either both have to be true or both have to be false. So 8 times 7 is 56. 7 equals 7 is a true statement. So it's a true and a true. So that's going to be a true statement. Final check. So we'd be looking there. So remember, the if and only if is the biconditional statement. So 8 times 7 is equal to 56 if and only if 7 plus 8 is not equal to 15. But 7 plus 8 is equal to 15, so we have a false statement in there. So this statement is going to be false, and it's because 7 plus 8 not being equal to 15 is false. And you're just going to be doing small work like that. So it's just getting familiar with this if and only if. So this homework should go pretty quickly as we go through. So they have this wording in here, contrary and consistent. Let's make sure that we understand that. I'm not sure if I mentioned that in the video, so I didn't know that they had that in there. So let's go through and try to find out what they mean by contrary and consistent. So 2 statements that can be true about the same object are consistent. For example, it is green and it weighs 60 pounds are consistent statements. Statements that cannot both be true at the same object are called contrary. It is a dog and it is a cat. So, okay, let's look at that. So something could be green and weigh 60 pounds. So they're going to describe what those wordings mean. The person has a sister. The same person has a brother. Could those happen at the same time? Yes, those could be consistent. I think would be the idea there. It's just if they couldn't happen at all. So I don't feel as bad. The number is less than 0. The number is a whole number. The statements are consistent because both case numbers can be true. Well, actually, let's talk about that. A whole number is a number that is positive. A number less than 0 is negative. So the statements are contrary because both statements cannot be true for the same number. It's contrary in this case. Right? So good. They're going to describe that wording as they ask us to use it. And that's it. So this should be a very nice homework assignment. Just getting an idea of biconditional statements, the if and only ifs. They do this contrary and consistent thing at the end. And then they have us playing around in the very beginning with statements that are right in if-then form. That's great. And then whether things are right, the converse, right, the contrapositive, all of those. So this should be a very nice homework assignment, I think.